Golf's an amazing game in that way that it's you really can. You can meet so many different people and build this amazing network.
I when I was in college, we had when I first got there, you know how you have like a bunch of seminars and stuff like that. They offered a golf course, like a class to learn how to play golf. So down the road, you can network with people. Like, hey, if you're able to play golf and you're applying for a job and you can talk to a boss or a CEO over a 4.5 hour round of golf, chances are you're going to be in a pretty good spot. And like what you just alluded to is like what that game can bring to you is just, like you said, it's unparalleled to anything else.
Bro, and it combines so many different avenues all into one place, right? Like you know, to think that I love basketball so much as a kid, but no way I'd be spending time with Steph Curry, like if I would have only played basketball, you know what I mean? And it's like now I'm able to, you know, engage with them in a way that I never thought possible. And then two is like, even if you play in a primary sport, it's not like I'm telling kids to quit basketball, quit football, quit baseball, you know, and just pick up golf. It's like, yo, use golf as a supplement to whatever else you're doing in life. And whether that's, you know, you want to be an accountant, you want to be in finance, whatever you want to do, any undertaking plus golf, it just completely alters the trajectory of the outcome. You know what I mean? And it's like if I'm a basketball player, I know how to play golf. I'm gonna spend more time with the coaches. I'm gonna spend more time with the owners. I'm gonna spend more time with decision makers at brands that's deciding who they, you know, gonna pick up or let go or whatever the case. And to give you this opportunity to, you know, build affinity for yourself in spaces that you normally wouldn't be in. And that's not even to reference the intrinsic values of just, you know, putting yourself in a space where everything that happens is a result of your own action and decision making. Like there's nobody else to blame. There's nothing else to hide behind. You know what I mean? It's really just you and you know, a lot of people not ready for that type of accountability. They're not ready to have those conversations with themselves. That's why they quit. But
I say the same fucking thing. I'm like, yo, if I play bad, it's my fault. I suck.
Yeah,
that doesn't keep you from getting mad though. You're still getting pissed.
I know, but like if I strike out 4 times, I could be like, you know what? That guy threw me some good pitches. It's not my fault. Fuck it. But if I shank 3 off the tee, I'm like, yo, I deserve to lose my money today. That's my bad.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Zach,
I don't know if Zach's ever shanked it off the tee though.
Yeah.
Zach got to like a +1.
What?
He's very good.
Mine's a little different. My dad was a golf pro growing up, and it's funny. Like, my parents put me in golf tournaments all the time growing up, and there's pictures of me like practicing on the putting green, just like miserable as fuck. And I wanted to play baseball, I wanted to play basketball, and now looking back, I tell them all the time, and I'm like, I wish you guys pushed me more. And they're like, bro, we literally dragged you to the course and you would just walk off the course. And I'm like,
look at you. You're still trying to blame other people for your own.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Why didn't you hold the gun to my head, mama?
Exactly. No. You're going to like this and you're going to play it.
Zach, what's your handicap right now?
It's right around 0.
Damn. Oh yeah. We got to set up some money games, baby.
I know we had some good ones.
When
we were living together, Ian and I, we had some good ones. Dakota was in there. We had a few guys we'd go out with and just play.
I appreciate you throwing my name in there like I was part of it.
You played.
I played. I'm not
partner.
like you and Ian. I'm Ian's partner. I build Ian up because he hits the shots I can't.
Yeah, I mean that's an important role to have too, baby. Don't undersell yourself.
Oh yeah, I always told him. I said if you switch to golf, like I'll be your caddy. You'll be fired up for every shot. Like I'll give you the reads.
Roger, where's the coolest place golf's taking you? Were you out in Tahoe?
No, I haven't been to the Reno Tahoe the celebrity event. Was that the ACC?
Yeah,
I haven't been out to that one. I'll probably swing out there this year. I had a scheduling conflict. I don't know, man. It's just like I struggle. Like I'm the worst person to ask when you start talking about ranking stuff because it's all dope to me. And it's like all these other little variables, like how good was the company versus how good was the course of the event or whatever the case. I'm a big company guy. I mean, I could hang out in the cemetery if the company right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still, like, hey, yo, that's the best cemetery I ever been to in my life, bro. You know what I mean? But man, like, you know, Bandon Dunes though, bro. Like if you take y'all been up there?
No,
I have never.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for like, you know, active athletes to make that time to go up there. Y'all be struggling. But
it's not good with our schedule. That summer when you want to be up there, we're working.
Yeah,
Hap's got some good ones under a belt.
But this, I'm telling you, bro, like banding with like some of your close friends, if you go up there for like 3-4 days and you learn some real important stuff, like are we really that close as friends? Or like if I'm around this person too much, it'll deteriorate. And then, it help you sift through the bullshit a little bit. But no, it was a beautiful golf experience up there. I mean, obviously going down to the Masters was dope. Pebble was dope. I got a round lined up at Cypress coming up soon. And, it's just like all of these courses, they all, for me, get grouped together as this collective new era golf experience. Because for the longest, I just thought golf was like my little munis in Chicago. Like I didn't even understand the world of golf. And so I feel like a little kid in a lot of these spaces that I go to. And it's like, man, I heard about this stuff. And then you see it in real life. And, to grow up thinking that you would never even have to worry about those types of things because you would never see it, to actually seeing it is crazy. It makes you feel like I feel like a little kid so often that it's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
It also gives you such an appreciation for how good those guys are. Like you get out there, you don't see the undulation. Like they always talk about Augusta, like 10 going down the hill.
Yeah.
They say if you go and you look up at the bottom, you can't see anything. You just see the fairway, the top of the fairway. And it's just like you don't see that on TV. Guys blow a putt best, and you're like, how the fuck do you miss that? And you go there and you're like, bro, this is putting this is concrete.
Bro, it's literally impossible. It's like a act of God to make anything over 6 feet on some of these courses, dog. It's like for real. Like it's just I'm not gonna say that I'm a bad putter, bro, but I really just don't understand how I'm supposed to match line and speed like with all of this shit going on around the hole. You know what I mean? So like I get to these places and it's like I'm really at the mercy of the caddy now because I'm not even gonna try because it's a little bit too insulting for me to actually put effort into reading that stuff and be wrong the whole day. So I just don't try. So if the caddy is no good, I'm no good. And that's kind of like my golf story when I go to nice courses.
We get the TPC experience where we go play TPC when we're out in Arizona for spring training.
Yeah.
And like you play that place and you put up a pretty decent round and then you realize that those guys go like 25, 30 under for the 4 days. And you're like, oh my God.
You shoot 1 or 2 over for 2 days. You're like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. You're not making the cut.
But that course is like, that's a fun and easy course. You know what I mean? It's like that course is set up for the players to be drunk and be able to get around there.
Literally, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the type of venue. Hey, they could show up. We know y'all slipping yourself some before y'all tee off. Go have fun out there, boys.
They're enjoying Old Town the night before. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a crazy one this upcoming year, though, man. To have
Super Bowl too,
bro. Waste management flow right into the Super Bowl in Scottsdale.
That's a
disaster
waiting to happen right there.
Man, talking about over under on like DUI, like oh my God, the stuff that I'm thinking about in my mind about how terrible this is gonna be for so many people.
That's bad, man.
Everybody go down there with such good intentions, bro. And it's just like, man, I'd be more interested in like the stories that go terribly wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know it's gonna be a lot of them.
Roger, what's some of the stuff you got on the docket? What's some of the stuff that's coming up for you? I know like this spring's probably big. You're probably still already working on that stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I got some real, my core partnerships. Like I work with, Nike, Callaway, Doers, SoFi Bank, obviously with 5-Iron. And so we got a lot of cool stuff that we're working on for 23. And, just, kind of the beautiful thing about all of my partners is that they represent things that I want to stand for and advocate for personally. And so whenever we get to collaborate, it's very synergistic and it really don't feel like work with anybody that I work with. But also on like the philanthropic front, man, like we've been doing a lot with HBCU programs and making sure that we get advocacy down to those, schools and to those golf programs and players so that they can, kind of be shown the love that they need so that kids see the viability and the pathway in golf and so that they get to graduate out of those positions and more opportunities are open for them. And then doing more on the youth side, the youth advocacy side, like getting basketball teams, football teams, outside sports to come into the game and enjoy it and really leaning on 5-Iron and Topgolf to create space for us to give these, kind of interactive and engaging golf experiences. That's a big thing, but I'm also trying to like get my body back right, bro. Cause it's like all this traveling and stuff, I done fell off a little bit. You know, when I saw you at that first tee event, I'm like, man, this dude looks so good next to me, bro. And I'm just like,
Come on.
I ain't really holding my own right now. You know, I had to take a long look at myself in the mirror when I got home that night, you know. So trying to get my body right, my game back right, so I don't embarrass myself when people be expecting one thing and get another. But you know, more of the same.
But you can hit it. This is, dude, this like we're talking 330,
Yeah.
350, like deep.
I got a little speed, baby, you know. But you know, on the other side of that, I lose a lot of golf balls, you know. Which I should really just, you know, I think that's a huge and untapped marketing opportunity for people to just start putting brands and stuff like outside brands on golf balls. Maybe some motivational messages like, hey, you know, we found each other in a weird place, but it gets better from here, baby. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I want to.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that we should really start putting motivational messages on our golf balls for, you know, for the trash shots. So when people find those, they like inspired a little bit, help them get out of the hole. You know,
put some signs out in the woods where a lot of balls go. Like, hey, you're good. Just turn it around from here. Just drop in the fairway.
Yeah, keep going.
See, that's what you need. You need the motivation ones because I've seen some. It's like, hey, you suck too. It's like you found this ball. Like we need some like little
enough
pick
of that in the world. It's enough of that in the world, man. I'm trying to tell a new narrative.
Exactly.
Roger, how did you start with all of these brands and partners? You know, obviously it was through, I was reading a little bit. It was kind of during COVID, right? When you were,
so I mean, like I always been in like the media and storytelling space. But I was doing that for other brands, other athletes. Like, you know, you might know my boy Aaron Hicks. You know, he you know, out for the Yankees and you know, like we spent a lot of time. He was helping me build my brand and I was storytelling, you know, alongside him during one of his off season. So I always liked storytelling, but when COVID happened, like all of my business dried up. And so, you know, I got all of this equipment. I'm playing a lot of golf, and it was really kind of like boredom and a little bit of just luck, I guess. But I just started talking about golf, about stuff that I wanted to say to my friends. But I think the thing that I did that was different was instead of doing it as a character, I did it like I was talking to my homies. Like I treated everybody on social media like I was talking to my friend. And I think that a lot of brands just resonated with the authenticity of the message. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that like I'm more authentic than the next person. I just think that like we were at a place in time with the game where they were looking for new people to have outside perspectives. And I had a perspective that golf wasn't necessarily, you know, looking for at the time, or like didn't know that they were looking for at the time. And ever since then, I've just been very empowered to continue to be myself, which is one of the most liberating things about all of this is I don't really have to think when I do stuff. You know what I mean? I know it's a lot of people that got to tighten it up.
It's hard. Like we always say, we've been talking for a while now, like behind the scenes and mic'd ups are like the fans' favorite thing to do and to listen to. And, you know, for you to just be authentic, especially when you're just talking, like, you know, you're chopping it up, talking golf, just being you. It's like, people want to hear that. And we try to get it in baseball. You know, we always have these conversations. It's like, how can we get more real conversations instead of like the old, like, oh, what were you thinking on that pitch? It's just like, you know, how can we get more authenticity in the game? And like you just alluded to it, it's just like the more real you are, it's just it applies to more people and they're way more intrigued to listen and learn about it.
Yeah, everybody got to play. Everybody playing defense too, though, man. Especially in y'all space, it's like there's so much more to lose from somebody taking something out of context than there
For
is
sure.
from, you know, giving them a little bit of insight into the way your mind works. You know, and the things that people cook up to use against you is kind of crazy. But it's like, for me, I just feel like if somebody gonna take the time to say something negative about me and I know that I'm well-intentioned, it's like, it wouldn't hold any weight, you know? So I don't really care because I know where my heart is. And if I made a mistake, I'm gonna apologize, you know, for that mistake. And then we just gonna keep on moving on. But, you know, I'm confident in the strength of my character. And so it's like, I don't feel like I'm gonna do anything out of malice, and if it's received the wrong way, I'll just backtrack and course correct. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, I understand, they don't want to roll the dice like that, and you can't blame them too, because I mean we see so many people get crucified for so many things. It's like, man, you know, I get why they stay quiet and kind of stay guarded a bit, but I hope too for the game, for baseball, for golf, like we all start tearing down some of those barriers and communicate as human beings a bit better.
I gotta say, we started this podcast a couple years ago, and we do it once a week. We jump on and talk for an hour. It's been great for us. I mean, you're going nonstop. You're traveling all over the country. You're creating content. That's a ton of work. And I think we didn't realize getting into this, how much time it would take to create the content. And like for us starting up was a lot. Like I have so much respect for the fact that you're constantly putting stuff out. You're all over the country. You're doing video, you're editing it. You're doing all that stuff. Like it's a full-time job and it's 24/7. And what you've been able to do has been really amazing to watch.
Man, that, obviously that mean a lot coming from somebody like you. I'm gonna talk to you offline to see if you mean that for real or not. You can. Like, a lot of people just be thinking I'll be playing around all day. I'd be like, man, that's the way I want it to look.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a lot that goes into it, man. When you trying to make sure you live a human life and then recap it for other people to see and stuff like that it's a tough balance, but it's sacrifices as well. It's like a lot of people that you wish you could spend time chopping it up with on the phone. Like you don't have that time, or like time you want to spend with your parents, or time you want to spend, you know what I mean? You sacrifice something for everything. So I'm appreciative that you appreciate what I'm going through, dog.
I know you said it kind of joking, but you were like, I got to get my game back because people are expecting something every time I hit a ball. Like that's real. Like like if you're playing with your friends or you're playing with whoever and like you don't shoot 72, they're like, oh my God, bro, you're not that good. And like this is your job. Like you do this. And it's like that's fucking hard. It's like like again in baseball, it's like you have a bad game, you're ripped, like any other sport, you're ripped. And it's like you have to keep your brand on. Like if you lose something mentally in your golf swing, it's like, what the fuck?
But you know what, bro? It's like I think with golf and the pressure that everybody needs to take off of themselves is like you should really look at the 80-20 rule, right? Like with everything. And it's like people gonna remember the 20% of the stuff that I do like well, and like the rest of the round is kind of off in the wayside. Like yesterday, I was playing. We played out at Bellinger Country Club up here in LA, and I might have hit like, I shot like an 80 or something like that, and I might have hit like 6 good shots. You know what I mean? 6 real good shots. And then when we get off the course, that's all people remember, dog. And I'm like, what is it? Like the work is done. So I really think that, when you out there on the course, if things are going terrible for you, bro, just like focus on big time plays, like, and just, do something crazy before you get off the course. And that's all people gonna remember. You know what I mean? So just take some of the pressure off yourself, keep going big. And when something pan out, then that's, you won already. All it takes is small wins. If you
get a hole in one, but shoot a 120, no one's going to care about the 119 other shots.
Who cares about that, dog? So I really don't care. I don't carry no pressure on the golf course. It's like me wanting to get better is just for vanity's sake. It's not. And, for my financial well-being, I gamble a lot and I don't like losing that much money on the golf course. So, that's a vanity thing. Outside pressure, though, don't matter.
You're going for every par 5 and 2.
Hell yeah. I mean, the most unthinkable, unreasonable second shots, like I'm doing it. Like, bro, you got 270, thread the needle, hook it, force carry. Like, yeah, we're doing that. Because I know if I pull it off, that's the story.
That's the story.
If I don't, it's like, damn, whatever.
And you got the excuse like, oh, well, if I wouldn't have done this if it really mattered. I was just trying to see if I could do it.
But you pull that shit off, dog. I mean, come on. I'm riding that wave for like, come on. I've hit shots, bro, where like, I've had terrible rounds where I've hit shots where I came back like a year later and people like the rumor of that shot has circulated around the club. And I'm like, bro, my strategy works, dog.
Before we let you go, I got to tell you, I'm hosting for the kids for the first tee at 5 Iron River North.
Yeah.
January 12th.
Yeah.
So if you're in town, would love to have you come by. It's going to be an awesome fundraiser and to raise money for first tee right around Cubs conventions in town that week. So I'm going to be there and we're going to set it all up. So if you're in, put that on your calendar.
I had like this $1 million play set up for that week, but I'm gonna cancel that so I could be there for
you.
Kids, because that's how much I had $1 million on the phone waiting for me, baby. But it's when them kids get mentioned. But I do want you to carry the weight of that sacrifice that I'm making for you, baby. Whatever that means to you, however you want to reconcile that, feel free.
I'll take care of you.
Okay, all right. All right. No, January 12th, I'll be there.
This has been awesome, man. Thanks for jumping on. I know you got to catch a flight, but it was great for you to jump on and do this.
Man,
Yeah,
I
we
appreciate
appreciate
y'all,
it.
boys. I appreciate y'all big time.
Yeah, that was awesome. Have a safe flight.
All right, baby.
That was a great interview with Roger Steele. He's awesome. I actually have not played golf with him. I really want to. We talked about getting together at 5-iron this winter. He's all over. I'm all over the place. He's all over the place. He's everywhere.
Be honest with me. Would you beat him?
I think my handicap is lower. But again, I've never
It'd be a good
played
round.
with him.
If you're that low, I mean, he plays every day too. Not every day. I can't say that. That sounds bad. But I mean, like, anything can happen. Obviously, like, it sounds like he knows what the fuck he's doing with the golf ball. It's like, and like I said,
I think he's a little bit of a player.
I mean, you think, have you seen his swing is legit,
Swing's nice.
dude.
Swing's nice. I really want to get out and play with him. Great guy. We met each other. We had talked on social media, but we met each other at that first tee event. He's awesome. He's just like, he really cares about the community, and he really cares about Chicago and where he grew up. But he also, like, he cares about the game and being a steward of the game. And he has such an appreciation for, like, what the game's given him and for what the network he's been able to build. And he loves talking business. So it was really cool to hear him talk about, what he's building and all that stuff. So we had a really good talk, but I would love for a round with him.
I think playing golf with people who are good in general, it's like you learn. It's like when you're taking BP with somebody for the first time, or like you watch somebody work. Like somebody, like, I'm not very good around the green. Like, I usually just use a 60 degree, just try to get it close and maybe 1 or 2 putt. Like, if you watch guys who play all the time and you learn, like, what they're doing, I find that so fascinating. And like I said, it's like in a cage where somebody's doing a specific drill or whatever on defense. Like, hey, why do you do that? Like, I think it's such an art if you don't play golf to actually watch somebody like of that caliber who is that good.
I was just spending a lot of time this morning looking at irons, and because there's some new ones just came out, and I was looking at wedge shafts and iron shafts and everything. And I was doing, and this is a little bit different, but I was doing a lot of reaching out to friends and figuring out what they play. But I think, like, one of the things that you would probably do if you're on the course and somebody's playing really well, you'd be like, oh, did you get Roman? Are you the type of guy that uses Roman? Is that how you got game is so good?
You got to be using Roman with that swing.
I was like, were you hitting 350 off the tee? You must be using Roman, because to have that kind of confidence. I don't know if you know this, but if you're experiencing ED, there's help. You can go to Roman. There's digital health clinic for men. It's the digital health clinic for men, and offers genuine FDA approved medication for as little as $4 per dose. Everything comes in discreet packaging. Nobody will know. Free 2-day shipping, right to your door. And if you want to get 20% off, because we're good people and we'll help you out, row.co/compound. That's ro.co/compound for 20% off your first order. And then you can hit 350-yard drives like our friend Roger Steele. Tender date has come and gone. There was a couple big non-tenders, as there is every year. And I think we've seen this story play out before, where there's a non-tender that's shocking of, like, a good player. Like Kyle Schwarber's a great example. And then he goes and gets an opportunity to play with the Nats, kills it, goes to Red Sox, kills it, gets paid, and has this unbelievable postseason with the Phils. I think sometimes a fresh start, sometimes a new place is really good for guys. And tender date's always a tough day, but I think that there's a couple guys out there floating around who are going to make homes with new teams and have a lot of success.
The Bellinger one didn't, like, shock me. Like, some people seemed like shocked, and I was like, I kind of see that. Like, he was going to get a ton in ARB, wasn't he? Like 18 or something.
Yeah, I think he'd had 18 for the last 2 years. I think he got like 17 and then 18, and this year was going to be 18, 19, somewhere in that range.
That's what it's hard when you start out so hot. Like, he was rookie of the year and then Super 2. And by that point, you're going to have to make a lot of money, and then if you don't, obviously if you don't play well, you're not just going to play for a lot of money to not play well.
And ARB can't go backwards. So it's
right.
not like, we're only going to pay you 9 this time.
Right. Good point. So if he's making 17, which he did before, and you don't have a $17 million year, it's kind of tough, especially with a team that is already on the books for a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to just keep throwing it around. And again, he's going to have a home. It's not like he's just completely done. And, like, God forbid he ever gets back to that 2017 whoever picks him up is going to be a lot of a better team, much of a better team.
People are going to be salivating over him.
Does he play? Is he a good defender too?
Really good.
That's what and he plays.
I thought you were.
plays
I thought you were
first.
being sarcastic.
No. I'm saying plays
he's,
first,
like,
plays
unbelievable.
outfield. Like
He's a legit center fielder and
He can
play
track
first
it.
base. So
Yeah.
He's fast. He's a crazy athlete. When we first played against each other in 17 in the bushes, we were both in triple ball, and
You can't even call it the bushes. You were there for 2 weeks.
literally.
And
then you came back in
actually
19 and you hated Dakota and I.
It was the first series of the year, and I was like, wow. I mean, he was playing first at the time, and I was like, he was flying down the line. I was like, holy shit! And then we played against each other later that year, and when he was going off, and it was like he was beating out infield singles. He was hitting 450-foot homers. He was doing it all. He's a super athlete, and he'll figure it out. But
I saw a tweet that said he had like 5 phone calls from teams like within the hour of him getting non-tendered.
Because that guy at whatever he's going to make 10, 12, 15 million bucks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He might even make 18. It might even be the same number. It's going to be a double digit number. That's good.
I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 for 18 or 2 for 20. Sorry.
Yeah. Whatever he ends up getting, it's people are going to want him at a slightly lower. It's not going to be crazy low. It's going to be slightly lower. There's going to be a lot of teams that want him. It's just that, that number for the Dodgers didn't make sense. Whatever. I think now that the tender date is gone by, teams have set their 40-man. You'll start to see some movement on trades, free agents. You got the winter meetings coming up first week of December, maybe 2-3 weeks. So you'll start to see a little bit of movement there. This is kind of that time. It was like there's some stuff happened early. And now it's then the 10.
This is the time where they look at their AAA bullpens and say, "We want the big fella. Let's go get him."
It's also crazy because last year we didn't have any of this with the lockout. We waited until it was either right before or right when we got unlocked. That's when shit started happening. And now we all kind of forgot how crazy an MLB offseason can be at times.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's stuff every day I see online. I'm like, oh wow, he got traded. Oh wow, he got signed. Oh wow.
The MLB is a weird one too, where like it'll randomly be like a flurry of moves, and then there's nothing for like a month, and then there's like a flurry, and then there's nothing. Like it's like a team sees other teams make a move, they're like, "Oh shit, we should probably do something."
I mean, this is going to be there's going to be a 2-week period here until the winter meetings where nothing happens. I'm going to say that, and then Judge is going to sign tomorrow. But it's going to be, my prediction is that the next 2 weeks until winter meetings, nothing happens. People just like packing in for Thanksgiving, nothing happens. And then around the winter meetings, you'll start to see stuff fly again.
If Scott was as big of a friend of a pod as he claims to be, he would get Aaron Judge to leak us the news, and we could break the news.
Good point. He would.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
He's not a good friend. He actually texted me after our last pod, maybe, or 2 pods ago, and said he had a fan question of the day that he was saving for the next time he's on, if he's ever allowed back on.
The best part is he says that, like trying to like get it, be like, yeah, like, all right, like we'll get you back on, Scott.
Have me on.
Oh, Scotty.
Let's do our Sloan screen time.
We don't have to, do we?
Oh, it's not good. I traveled quite a bit today, and
mine's not bad.
I flew in this morning, and I've been in some airports. Let me tell you, there's Sloan everywhere. I was able to go to the bathroom in a lot of places, able to wash my hands. I don't know if you guys saw my picture in Logan, Boston Logan Airport. There, they had a old one of the original Sloan automatics. They're due for an update, but they're still fighting over there. They got the Sloan automatic still working. That's called longevity. Okay. Sloan valve products, they last.
Mine better be low today, because I was getting yelled at by you for not texting you back. So I was, oops, busy getting my work in.
Can we do yesterday's?
No, definitely not.
No. Yes,
I was there yesterday trying to not jump off a cliff.
I'll tell you yesterday's just to do it.
No judging.
10:36.
Wow.
Double digits.
It was Sunday. It was a Sunday.
Mine was 9:15 yesterday on a Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
Today it's football Sunday. You know how much information is on Twitter?
I was 2:45 yesterday, so I went. What were you guys today?
2:45 is this. Today 2:44.
Ooh.
Zach.
3:10.
Come on.
2:50 or 5:34 today.
Wow.
I was on a plane. Google Maps. I was working.
You're on a
What?
plane on Google Maps. What are you flying?
You
Are you
had
flying
double-
I was Google Maps to the airport.
Are
Okay,
you
I was Google
flying the
Maps to-
plane? What are you, a pilot now?
I was Google
What-
Maps
how
to
do
the
you have-
airport. I was Google Maps back from the airport. I don't
There's
have
still-
an hour 13 of messages. I don't know. All right.
8 hours left in the day today for you, and you're double your time from yesterday.
I don't know how it happened. Things got out of control.
Even I'm only at 3:23, man.
I was up
he's
at 5
last.
a.m. East Coast
He
time
picks
today. Right.
last. Ew. Zach, that was one of your better ones.
Yeah.
What are you flying the plane?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I got
Yeah, Google
up.
Maps want to make sure we were going the right way.
It's actually we got delayed. I thought when you open the I flew Deltas like the flydelta.com and you're tracking your plane. They were like 15 minutes until you land. And Julie was like, "How long till we land?" And I showed her, I was like 15. She was like, she was tracking on a flight tracker or something, and she was like, no, we still have an hour left. It completely ruined my day. It
Sucks.
ruined my flight.
I
thought
will
we
never
Miami.
forget the first time I went to the West Coast when I got drafted. It said it's like, oh, you're gonna take off at 1, land at like 3:30. I'm like, oh, dope, quick-ish flight, and it's like didn't resonate with me that the 3-hour
You're
time
losing
change. And I'm
3
sitting there and
hours,
I'm like,
yeah.
man, what is going on this flight?
Are we doing circles up here?
It was like when I first got drafted, I was like, yo, am I missing something here? Where are we going?
You were missing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was time
Frontal
change.
lobe. We are not having an episode. We're having our Thanksgiving break next week. Then we will be back the following week, and then we're taking the day after Christmas off. Those are our 2 off days of the year.